Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show presented by Hy-Vee, both in Osage Beach and Jefferson City. So here on the Spotlight Show, we have a new guest for you every week, somebody we think is important in the community that you need to know more about. And really excited about the show this week because we get to know the folks from Summerset, both Summerset Inn and Boat Lifts. It's Angie Schuster and Dave Brooks. Guys, thanks for coming by.
Hey, our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Are you really nervous?
A little bit.
All right, there you go. So, Summerset, everybody around town has heard of Summerset, one of the foundational businesses in the community and stuff. And you guys actually started it, Dave, especially you, back in the day. So let's go all the way back to the beginning, right? You used to just come visit the lake, just like everybody else, right?
Yep, with Angie's grandma and grandpa, my in-laws, and fun boating.
Yeah.
A lot of pristine times then.
I bet, yeah.
And we come every holiday in the summer, and also 2 weeks during the 4th of July week when that was our vacation time.
Yeah. So where were you coming from?
We were coming from St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay.
And, well, actually, out a little bit farther, I met Kathy in O'Fallon, Missouri.
Yeah.
So that's where was the inception.
Okay, so you were just coming to party. Now, was that pre-Angie, or do you remember those early years?
Nope, that was pre-Angie, because
Okay.
I'm actually a true native of the lake, born and raised here.
Wow, there you go. That was before the kids came
No Angie,
along.
no Party Cove.
There you go. So what made you decide that you were going to uproot everything, come to the lake, and start businesses here?
We visited and stayed at several resorts. We ended up at Idle Days in Gala for quite a long period of time, and that gentleman there, we struck up a good relationship with him, and he wanted to buy another resort. And he needed partners and managers, and he knew that we love the lake and we'd love to get down here. So we found a property, we put a contract on it, and then he called back probably months later before we were just about ready to close and said, "I'm out."
Really?
So we said why, and he told us why, and I won't go through that. But anyway, it was a valid reason, and we got out too. But we were looking at the property that was close to us, which is the 5 acres that we eventually ended up buying.
Yeah.
We moved back from our mobile home that was on Kathy's mom and dad's lot back to their house. We sold the mobile home, then we rented the space, and we decided to save some money to be able to purchase something at the lake. Well, every fall, the property that we own would come up for sale.
Yeah.
There was a corporation by the name of Mattingly Brothers, and they used it for their summer retreat for their executives, managers, and so forth.
Yeah.
They own Mattingly Brothers stores up near Kansas City. So anyway, we saved the first year, and then we went back in the fall, and it came on sale, and we just looked at it, and the price, we saved about $10,000, and the price jumped 15. So we ended up making an offer, and they accepted, and they financed it, self-financed it for 2 years, and we started coming down, and it was 5 acres and 2 old rock houses,
Yeah.
a duplex and a rock home, and started doing a little remodeling. Then after that, I was in between jobs, and we rented the rock house out, and what happened was the guy was the banquet manager over at the lodge.
Yeah.
So he said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I'm cutting weeds, and I got a job promised in November as a liquor rep, but I'm out of a job right now." So he said, "Well, just come to work for me at the lodge." I said, "I don't know anything about banquets or anything like that." And he said, "You can be my banquet captain, and we'll show you what to do."
Wow.
So anyway, I started working, and then Kathy and her mom and dad would come down every weekend. They'd do my laundry and all that stuff, and I'd work double shifts because it was busy at that time at the lodge. So anyway, ended up working about 10 years there.
Yeah.
And Kathy's mom and dad came down in, I think, 19 let's see, 74 is when we built the pool. They moved in about 73.
Yeah.
So Dad, Kathy, myself worked at the lodge, and Mom stayed home, and that's when we started building our pool first. And then in 76, 77, we built a sixplex. In the fall of 77, we built our house down by the pool. Then and the next year we built an eightplex. And
Wow, you just kind of built as you went, huh?
We just kept borrowing and just kept building.
Oh, wow. So it's not like, you guys were all money bags and you were just looking for a way to spend money. I mean, every step of this was kind of a gamble in business, wasn't it?
Yep, it
Oh,
was.
definitely.
Wow, it's amazing. So, and that was Summerset Inn, what turned into what we know of as Summerset Inn.
Right.
Okay, cool. So, and then there was a whole nother business that would come along soon thereafter, and we'll get into that momentarily. We're talking with Angie Schuster and her dad, Dave Brooks, of Summerset fame, Summerset Inn, Summerset Boat Lifts. So we'll get to know more about them right after this.
Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee in Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Isles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee in Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the QuickCar Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The QuickCar Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. QuickCar. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Columbia College Lake of the Ozarks offers accredited quality degree programs that meet the needs of our community. Our supportive faculty and staff understand the challenges of today's working adult students. You can earn your college degree faster with our convenient 8-week classes, starting 6 times a year, whether in-seat or online. And you'll save thousands on tuition with our low-fee Truition Guarantee. You deserve to invest in your future without sacrificing today. Learn more and visit us online.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, presented by Hy-Vee in Osage Beach and Jefferson City. We've got Angie Schuster and Dave Brooks here with us, the founders of Summerset businesses, Summerset Inn, Summerset Boat Lifts. And so where did the name Summerset come from?
Well, when we first created a partnership, and then we had to call the partnership something, we did that in the Brooks Shinstock situation, but then we started to have a name for a resort. So
Yeah.
Kathy's mom really liked Summerset. That was her name, and
Okay.
so we went with that, Summerset. And also we faced west, so it was always a sunset.
Right.
So that was what we picked.
How
That's what
perfect
the
is it?
resort was known for, was
Yeah.
the sunsets and the beauty of the lake.
And it's kind of funny how, a little decision like that, probably just kind of half off the top of your head has turned into, everybody knows what Summerset is for the next 30 years. And speaking of Summerset boat lifts, we kind of heard about how you got the inn started. And then in, 1982, you guys decided to start a boat lift company.
Well, we were building a resort, and I had acquired a job with Galvafoam and was selling their docks. And with that, in about 82, I started that situation with the boat lifts because the manager, Mike Shank's brother, needed a job. So I stepped down from the sales job.
Yeah.
We were building some units, and at the same time I said, promise me, I'll step down, but promise me, I know you're going to get out of the boat lift business, and I want the distributorship.
Huh?
And he said, I promise you. Well, about 8 months later, sure enough, he called up. He said, we're out of the retail business.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I was the first one, and then of course he didn't tell me he was going to do 2 more. But anyway, long story short, after about 10 years of struggling, we became the exclusive.
Nice, nice.
But needing second jobs all the time because the short season at that point, anyway, when there wasn't people that came in the wintertime to Lake of the Ozarks, you know,
Yeah.
you always had to have 2 jobs. So whether it was going from working at the lodge or just working 2 jobs for ourselves, that's kind of how the boat lift
Yeah, it
transpired and became.
It became good.
It became
and-
our second job and then became our first job.
Absolutely. So, and big changes for Summerset Boat Lift just in the last year because you guys decided to sell, right? How would tell us about that?
It was a 6-month adventure from last November until May.
Yeah.
Had someone approach us and ask about it, and I thought, this is probably, you know, just a wild goose chase, but we'll check it out and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, did close in May, and the new owners, Paxson and Pax St. Clair, are father-son, family-oriented, and so it's going very well.
Good. But you guys are still running the show. I mean, you're still very involved and running things.
We are very involved. My husband Brian, who has been involved since we met in high school, and then myself and my uncle and our other manager, Ron, at the manufacturing side are all still on. All of our employees are still with us, creating a great team, a wonderful atmosphere.
Right.
Dad finally got to retire a little bit after
I bet Dad liked
Labor
that.
Day,
Huh?
just a little bit.
Yeah, I gave a little 3.5 month free transition period, so
There you go. That's good.
free at last.
So the boat lift company, you guys are still running and working at and everything, even though you did sell it to the St. Clair family, who are pretty well known in boating circles, right? Because they used to own Cobalt boats, I think.
Correct.
That's
So
correct.
that's kind of cool. And the inn, you guys are going through a transition with the inn now too. What's going on with that?
At this point, we're kind of still up in the air with what we're going to do with it.
Figuring that out.
Decided that we were not going to be able to keep doing what we had been for the last 49 years. So this was the first year that we didn't rent on a, you know, every night kind of basis.
Yeah.
Having both businesses was a bit much sometimes. So, and finding help, of course, is kind of a challenge
Ooh,
some
yeah,
days.
especially this year. Yeah. So you know, it's always fascinating to me how things get started. You know, and people tend to look at very successful businesses like Summerset now, and they think, oh, you guys always had money. You were always rich. It was a piece of cake. When you started it out on a shoestring budget, you know, doing multiple jobs, and I mean, you always worked for the family business and had other jobs, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't do a whole lot outside of that as far as I was concerned, but
My mother and father-in-law, they made us sign on the dotted line, but it all started with them when they retired, and it was earlier than 65 years old, but they took their pension, and we built a pool with it. We drilled a new well, and we did a few things like that, and then after that we started getting another job besides running the resort, and every Saturday changing things over, and Sundays changing things over. We built the condos.
Yeah.
We built the shop up above. The 5 acres is getting filled up.
It is, isn't
Yeah,
it? And if you don't know where that is, it's over near Dog Days, I think. And it's the growth we've seen at the lake, especially you, since like 1971, is just astounding, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got the greatest location when by road and by water. By water, you go out the cove and you make a left and go up towards Stantera or Margaritaville.
Right.
And then you go right down to the dam, or a right-hand U-turn, you go out the glaze, you can go boating, and it's wonderful to be in that spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could get that spot in the 70s. You couldn't get that spot now. I mean, it's...
Our original brochure for the Lake magazine stated that we were in the heart of Osage Beach.
Right.
Heart of the lake. And now you see it on the tower, heart of the lake.
they stole that from
Yeah,
you.
they stole it from
There
us.
you go.
They did.
Wow. You guys are special. Summerset is special. And your spouses aren't here with you today, but they're special. So say hi to Brian and Kathy. And thank you guys. Thank you for all you do for the community. It's been an honor to have you here. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you. We appreciate
you
the
very much.
opportunity.
All right. So Summerset, there they are. It's Angie Schuster and Dave Brooks, the companies of Summerset. Thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.